So you can hear how we're bombarded with noise here at the Winton Hotel, 445 O'Farrell Street, San Francisco, California, 94102. See, they're always putting these bogus signatures at the bottom of these documents, management, etc. Sometimes the other one has somebody's name, but this 126 Hyde Street, here's a different notice. I don't even know where that address is. That's not somewhere that we're knowledgeable about. This it's what I call the kill zone in the kill zone. So you never want to go there unless you're stupid enough to want to die, that kind of thing. Here's again a different part of a different notice. I know this is on the worst stationary. I mean the worst resolution, QCIF, I believe I'm shooting this on, because again, I want to maintain this, people's privacy as much as possible, especially mine, including mine. So it's Monday, August 14th, 2:58 p.m. That song is called The Fight, if you want to download it, for the American Cancer Society, on iTunes and I guess other places. Today, it was just on the doctors. I can't remember if this is the right channel. 4-1, yeah, the doctors, black eyed peas, blah, blah, blah. Life-threatening illness, it's cancer. I mean, it's serious and all that. And so they made the announcement to the world and the song, and, it's a nice song, and keep repeating, don't let it pass you by, that kind of thing. And, I wish they had one for heart disease, and, obviously, heart disease is my thing. Because it happened to me, and cancer is his thing because it happened to him and all that stuff. And you want to be aware of everybody else and all the other diseases and all that stuff. And I don't want to act like heart disease is the only thing. But as bad as cancer is, a lot of times they'll say, oh well, they gave us 6 months to live. But with heart disease, a lot of times you have 6 seconds to live and you don't even know it. That kind of thing. All right, so I just wanted to make the point about that package. Actually, is when I started about the documentation there, right? I was just saying about the noise in the hall and the communication services. They have us living like it's the 1970s, or we're back in time in some way. Here, let me put the password on this thing, and then it won't keep shutting off so quickly. And then you'll have something to look at anyway. And again, it verifies the date and time, and I guess the weather and all that stuff, and how much memory I got and all that. Here's Crime Watch Daily. I don't know if that's starting now. Yeah, I guess it is. So that'll give you a TV date and time check. I think I contacted them about nearly being killed in the lobby of this hotel 8 weeks ago, and they haven't contacted me back yet. Anyway, so again, I guess you can't be everybody's priority. Everything can't be everybody's priority. Every single second and all that stuff. And let me just finish up about that notice. Again, my neighbor over there has COPD and breathing oxygen tanks. And we're kind of brothers in arms in the sense that I think he's a veteran. I'm not 100% sure. But when I say brothers in arms, I mean about the having chronic disease and all that stuff. And we can't have smokers around us and all that, and that's why it's illegal to smoke in buildings and all that. But they still get away with it, especially the staff here, and they cover up for them. They cover up for each other. They got their. There's a problem with unions, like all union members all throughout the city. City, state, county, federal employees. They all know to cover up for each other. Like you're considered an outsider if you're a civilian, and they're the insiders, and they'll lie, cheat, steal, whatever they got to do to keep each other in their job. That'll keep their pension, all that stuff. They're all watching each other's back like that, and they don't care if you have to die as a consequence. They don't care about your death, and I got to care about it for me. Anyway, in this instance, it's a package. Maybe it's heart-saving, life-saving medication for him. Who knows what the package is? But they only save it for 48 hours. This guy, like most of us here, are terrified to leave our apartments. We don't leave it if we don't have to. He's in there like 24/7, 365. kind of like I'm in here, we're terrified to leave the place because it's risking your life to go into the lobby. Again, it seems like we got rapists and murderers here, and they haven't told us, who our neighbors are, or any of that stuff. And again, the realtors of America and all that stuff, and they absolve themselves of that responsibility to you, even if you're paying them a fee to, find you an apartment and get a commission and all that stuff. And again, they got the biggest lobbying group in Washington. It looks like that's how all this stuff is in place, and apartments aren't considered utilities, where a reasonable fee is charged, or a reasonable rent, and instead the sky's the limit. It's the crazy old idea that what's his name had, Adam Smith, around the time of American independence. He's a Scottish guy. But, back then, the invisible hand idea, where the market would take care of itself, things would take care of themselves, people would take care of themselves, stuff like that. Then it was, I guess, the only idea that could be available. But now we have computers that should be able to identify all that stuff and get all the data to us as quickly as possible. You see they write things down on pieces of paper here, again, like it's the 1970s or the 60s or the 50s or the 40s or the 30s, or whenever they had to do things that way. They're not even smart enough to stick the paper under the door. They stick it to your door with a piece of Scotch tape that any of these rapists or murderers could just steal from you at any time. Instead of just sliding it under your door where it's protected, it won't be set on fire, it won't be ripped up, it won't be stolen. I could go on and on and on. It's ridiculous. And again, they have the stupid walkie-talkie method instead of using texting. This is throughout the THC, the TNDC. TNDC is a different corporation, though it probably has similar problems, to tell you the truth. But I don't know that for a fact right now. I knew it for a fact, X amount of years ago. The THC still very much has that problem. They claim they don't have ways to read a CD or DVD disc in the current world. Like, our computers are too advanced for that. It's like, no, you were chumped into buying computers that don't have drives on them. You're too stupid to know what to do with technology. You're too stupid to know what technology is. You're too stupid to have your jobs. Really. Everybody should be fired. Connected with this hotel and the THC, and that's old news now. And hopefully I could prove it again and again and again, incontrovertibly with recordings. But at this point, with all the recordings I've already posted, I should think my word would be good enough by now. And you see, I deal with real evidence, real data, real recordings, real proof. And throughout the world, they don't always do that. No matter where you're, in a hospital, in a law firm, in a city government office, in the president's office, it's not always about truth and facts and evidence and data, but it is with me. All right, I'll cut this for now.